Scripture portions of the day. Day 324.
Matthew 7. 1. You shall not judge, lest you be judged. 2. For with the judgment that you judge, you will be judged, and with the measure that you measure, it will be measured to you. 3. Why do you notice a chip that is in your brother's eye, and you do not observe the plank that is in your own eye? 4. Or how do you say to your brother, let me cast out the chip from your eye, and behold, a plank is in your eye? 5. Hypocrite. First cast out the plank from your eye, and then you will see to cast out the chip from your brother's eye. 6. Do not give a sacrifice to dogs, neither throw your pearls before wild boars, lest they trample them with their feet, and return to run you through. 7. Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock, and it will be opened to you. 8. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it is opened. 9. And who is the man among you whose son will ask him for bread and will hand him a stone? 10. And if he will ask him for a fish, will he hand him a snake? 11. If therefore you who are evil know to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? 12. Everything whatsoever you desire that people should do for you, do likewise for them, for this is the law and the prophets. 13. Enter the narrow gate, for the gate is wide, and the road is spacious which leads to destruction, and many are those who are going in it. 14. How narrow is the gate and strict the way that leads to life, and few are those who find it. 15. Beware of false prophets who come to you in lamb's clothing, but from within they are plundering wolves. 16. But by their fruit you will know them. Do they gather grapes from thorns or figs from thistles? 17. So every good tree produces good fruit, but a bad tree produces bad fruit. 18. A good tree is not able to produce bad fruit, neither a bad tree to produce good fruit. 19. Every tree that does not produce good fruit is cut down and falls into the fire. 20. Therefore by their fruit you will know them. 21. It is not everyone that says to me, my Lord, who enters the kingdom of heaven, but whoever does the will of my Father who is in heaven. 22. Many will say to me in that day, my Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, and in your name have cast out demons, and have done many mighty works in your name? 23. And then I will confess to them, I have never known you, remove yourselves far from me, you workers of evil. 24. Everyone therefore who hears these my words, and does them, will be likened to the wise man who built his house on solid rock. 25. And the rain descended and the floods came and the wind blew, and they rushed against the house, and it did not fall, for its foundation was laid on solid rock. 26. And everyone who hears these my words, but does not practice them, will be likened to the foolish man who built his house on sand. 27. And the rain descended and the floods came, and the wind blew, and they rushed against that house, and it fell, and its fall was great. 28. And when Yeshua had finished these words, the crowds were marveling at his teaching. 29. For he was teaching them as one having authority and not as their scribes and the Pharisees.
Deuteronomy 26. 1. And it shall be when thou shalt have entered into the land, which Jehovah thy Elohim gives thee to inherit it, and thou shalt have inherited it, and thou shalt have dwelt upon it. 2. That thou shalt take of the first of the fruits of thy land, which Jehovah thy Elohim gives thee, and thou shalt put them into a basket, and thou shalt go to the place which Jehovah thy Elohim shall choose to have his name called there. 3. And thou shalt come to the priest who shall be in those days, and thou shalt say to him, I testify this day to Jehovah my Elohim, that I am come into the land which Jehovah sware to our fathers to give to us. 4. And the priest shall take the basket out of thine hands, and shall set it before the altar of Jehovah thy Elohim. 5. And he shall answer and say before Jehovah thy Elohim, my father abandoned Syria, and went down into Egypt, and sojourned there with a small number, and became there a mighty nation and a great multitude. 6. And the Egyptians afflicted us, and humbled us, and imposed hard tasks on us. 7. And we cried to Jehovah our Elohim, and Jehovah heard our voice, and saw our humiliation, and our labor, and our affliction. 8. And Jehovah brought us out of Egypt himself with his great strength, and his mighty hand, and his high arm, and with great visions, and with signs, and with wonders. 9. And he brought us into this place, and gave us this land, a land flowing with milk and honey. 10. And now, behold, I have brought the first of the fruits of the land, which thou gavest me, O Jehovah, a land flowing with milk and honey. And thou shalt leave it before Jehovah thy Elohim, and thou shalt worship before Jehovah thy Elohim. 11. And thou shalt rejoice in all the good things, which Jehovah thy Elohim has given thee, thou and thy family, and the Levite, and the stranger that is within thee. 12. And when thou shalt have completed all the tithings of thy fruits in the 3rd year, thou shalt give the 2nd tenth to the Levite, and stranger, and fatherless, and widow, and they shall eat it in thy cities, and be merry. 13. And thou shalt say before Jehovah thy Elohim, I have fully collected the holy things out of my house, and I have given them to the Levite, and the stranger, and the orphan, and the widow, according to all commands which thou didst command me. I did not transgress thy command, and I did not forget it. 14. And in my distress I did not eat of them, I have not gathered of them for an unclean purpose, I have not given of them to the dead, I have hearkened to the voice of Jehovah or Elohim, I have done as thou hast commanded me. 15. Look down from thy holy house, from heaven, and bless thy people Israel, and the land which thou hast given them, as thou didst swear to our fathers, to give to us a land flowing with milk and honey. 16. On this day Jehovah thy Elohim charged thee to keep all the ordinances and judgments, and ye shall observe and do them, with all your heart, and with all your soul. 17. Thou hast chosen Elohim this day to be thy Elohim, and to walk in all his ways, and to observe his ordinances and judgments, and to hearken to his voice. 18. And Elo-heem has chosen thee this day that thou shouldest be to him a peculiar people, as he said, to keep his commands. 19. And that thou shouldest be above all nations, as he has made thee renowned, and a boast, and glorious, that thou shouldest be a holy people to Jehovah thy Elohim, as he has spoken.
Haggai 1:1. In the 2nd year of Darius the king, in the 6th month, on the 1st day of the month, the word of Jehovah came by the hand of the prophet Aggeus, saying, Speak to Zerubbabel the son of Salathiel, of the tribe of Judah, and to Jesus the son of Josedech, the high priest, saying, 2. Thus saith Jehovah Almighty, saying, This people say, The time is not come to build the house of Jehovah. 3. And the word of Jehovah came by the hand of the prophet Aggeus, saying, 4. Is it time for you to dwell in your sailed houses, whereas our house is desolate? 5. And now thus saith Jehovah Almighty, Consider your ways, I pray you. 6. You have sown much, but brought in little, you have eaten, and are not satisfied, you have drunk, and are not satisfied with drink, you have clothed yourselves, and have not become warm thereby. And he that earns wages, has gathered them into a bag full of holes. 7. Thus saith Jehovah Almighty, Consider your ways. 8. Go up to the mountain, and cut timber, build a house, and I will take pleasure in it, and be glorified, saith Jehovah. 9. You looked for much, and there came little, and it was brought into the house, and I blew it away. Therefore thus saith Jehovah Almighty, Because my house is desolate, and ye run everyone into his own house. 10. Therefore shall the sky withhold dew, and the earth shall keep back her produce. 11. And I will bring a sword upon the land, and upon the mountains, and upon the corn, and upon the wine, and upon the oil, and all that the earth produces, and upon the men, and upon the cattle, and upon all the labors of their hands. 12. And Zerubbabel the son of Salathiel, of the tribe of Judah, and Jesus the son of Josedech, the high priest, and all the remnant of the people, hearkened to the voice of Jehovah their Elohim, and the words of the prophet Aggeus, according as Jehovah their Elohim had sent him to them, and the people feared before Jehovah. 13. And Aggeus, Jehovah's messenger, spoke among the messengers of Jehovah to the people, saying, I am with you, saith Jehovah. 14. And Jehovah stirred up the spirit of Zerubbabel the son of Salathiel, of the tribe of Judah, and the spirit of Jesus the son of Josedech, the high priest, and the spirit of the remnant of all the people, and they went in, and wrought in the house of Jehovah Almighty, their Elohim. 15. On the 24th day of the 6th month, in the 2nd year of Darius the king. Haggai 2:1. In the 7th month, on the 21st day of the month, Jehovah spoke by Aggeus the prophet, saying, 2. Speak now to Zerubbabel the son of Salathiel, of the tribe of Judah, and to Jesus the son of Josedech, the high priest, and to all the remnant of the people, saying, 3. Who is there of you that saw this house in her former glory? And how do ye now look upon it, as it were nothing before your eyes? 4. Yet now be strong, O Zerubbabel, saith Jehovah, and strengthen thyself, O Jesus the high priest, the son of Josedech, and let all the people of the land strengthen themselves, saith Jehovah, and work, for I am with you, saith Jehovah Almighty. 5. And my spirit remains in the midst of you, be of good courage. 6. For thus saith Jehovah Almighty, Yet once I will shake the heaven, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land. 7. And I will shake all nations, and the choice portions of all the nations shall come. And I will fill this house with glory, saith Jehovah Almighty. 8. Mine is the silver, and mine the gold, saith Jehovah Almighty. 9. For the glory of this house shall be great, the latter more than the former, saith Jehovah Almighty. And in this place will I give peace, saith Jehovah Almighty, even peace of soul for a possession to every one that builds, to raise up this temple. 10. On the 24th day of the 9th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, the word of Jehovah came to Aggeus the prophet, saying, 11. Thus saith Jehovah Almighty, Inquire now of the priest concerning the law, saying, 12. If a man should take holy flesh in the skirt of his garment, and the skirt of his garment should touch bread, or pottage, or wine, or oil, or any meat, shall it be holy? And the priests answered and said, No. 13. And Aggeus said, If a defiled person who is unclean by reason of a dead body touch any of these, shall it be defiled? And the priests answered and said, It shall be defiled. 14. And Aggeus answered and said, So is this people, and so is this nation before me, saith Jehovah, and so are all the works of their hands. And whosoever shall approach them, shall be defiled because of their early burdens. They shall be pained because of their toils, and ye have hated him that reproved in the gates. 15. And now consider, I pray you, from this day and beforetime, before they laid a stone on a stone in the temple of Jehovah, what manner of men ye were. 16. When ye cast into the corn bin 20 measures of barley, and there were only 10 measures of barley. And ye went to the vat to draw out 50 measures, and there were but 20. 17. I smote you with barrenness, and with blasting, and all the works of your hands with hail, yet ye return not to me, saith Jehovah. 18. Set your hearts now to think from this day and upward, from the 24th day of the 9th month, even from the day when the foundation of the temple of Jehovah was laid. 19. Consider in your hearts, whether this shall be known on the corn floor, and whether yet the vine, and the fig tree, and the pomegranate, and the olive trees that bear no fruit are with you. From this day will I bless you. 20. And the word of Jehovah came the second time to Aggeus the prophet, on the 24th day of the month, saying, 21. Speak to Zerubbabel the son of Salathiel, of the tribe of Judah, saying, I shake the heaven, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land. 22. And I will overthrow the thrones of kings, and I will destroy the power of the kings of the nations, and I will overthrow chariots and riders, and the horses and their riders shall come down, every one by the sword striving against his brother. 23. In that day, saith Jehovah Almighty, I will take thee, O Zerubbabel, the son of Salathiel, my servant, saith Jehovah, and will make thee as a seal. For I have chosen thee, saith Jehovah Almighty.
Proverbs 19. Septuagint. The folly of man spoils his ways, and he blames Elohim in his heart. Wealth acquires many friends, but the poor is deserted even of the friends he has. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that accuses unjustly shall not escape. Many court the favor of kings, but every bad man becomes a reproach to another man. Everyone who hates his poor brother shall also be far from friendship. Good understanding will draw near to them that know it, and the sensible that will find it. He that does much harm perfects mischief, and he that provokes words shall not escape. He that procures wisdom loves himself, and he that keeps wisdom shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and whosoever shall kindle mischief shall perish by it. Delight shall not suit a fool, nor is it seemingly in the servants shall begin to rule with haughtiness. A merciful man is long-suffering, and his triumph overtakes transgressors. The threatening of king is like the roar of a lion, but as the dew of the grass, so is his favor. A foolish son is a disgrace of his father. Vows paid out of the hire of the harlot are not pure. Fathers divide house and substance to their children, but the wife is suited to a man by Jehovah. Cowardice possesses the effeminate man, and the soul of the sluggard shall hunger. But he that keeps commandment keeps his own soul, but he that despises his ways shall perish. He that has pity on the poor lends to Jehovah, and he will recompense him according to his gift. Chasten thy son, so that he shall be hopeful, and be not exalted in thy soul to haughtiness. A malicious man shall be severely punished, and if he commit injury, he shall also lose his life. Hear, son, the instruction of your father, that thou mayest be wise in the latter end. There are many thoughts in a man's heart, but the counsel of Jehovah abides forever. Mercy is the fruit of man, and a poor man is better than a rich liar. The fear of Jehovah is the life to a man, but he shall lodge without fear in the places where knowledge is not seen. He that unjustly hides his hand in his bosom will not even bring them up to his mouth. When the pestilence character is scourged, a simple man is made wiser. And if thou reprove a wise man, he will understand discretion. He that understands his father, or dishonors his father, drives away his mother, shall be disgraced, and shall be exposed to reproach. A son who ceased to attend to the instructions of the father will cherish evil designs. He that becomes surety to a foolish child will despise the ordinance, and the mouth of ungodly men shall drink down judgment. Scourges are preparing for the intemperate, and punishment likewise to fools.
Proverbs 20. 1. Wine is an intemperate thing, and strong drink full of violence. But every fool is entangled with them. 2. The threat of a king differs not from the rage of a lion, and he that provokes him sins against his own soul. 3. It is a glory to a man to turn aside from railing, but every fool is entangled with such matters. 4. A sluggard when reproached is not ashamed. So also he who borrows corn and harvest. 5. Counsel in a man's heart is deep water, but a prudent man will draw it out. 6. A man is valuable, and a merciful man precious. But it is hard to find a faithful man. 7. He that walks blameless in justice shall leave his children blessed. 8. Whenever a righteous king sits on the throne, no evil thing can stand before his presence. 9. Who will boast that he has a pure heart? Or who will boldly say that he is pure from sins? 10. A large and small weight, and divers measures, are even both of them unclean before Jehovah, and so is he that makes them. 11. A youth when in company with a godly man, will be restrained in his devices, and then his way will be straight. 12. The ear hears, and the eye sees. Even both of them are Jehovah's work. 13. Love not to speak ill, lest thou be cut off. Open thine eyes, and be filled with bread. 20. The lamp of him that reviles father or mother shall be put out, and his eyeballs shall see darkness. 21. A portion hastily gotten at first shall not be blessed in the end. 22. Say not, I will avenge myself on my enemy, but wait on Jehovah, that he may help thee. 23. A double weight is an abomination to Jehovah, and a deceitful balance is not good in his sight. 24. A man's goings are directed of Jehovah. How then can a mortal understand his ways? 25. It is a snare to a man hastily to consecrate some of his own property. For in that case repentance comes after vowing. 26. A wise king utterly crushes the ungodly, and will bring a weal upon them. 27. The spirit of man is a light of Jehovah, who searches the inmost parts of the belly. 28. Mercy and truth are a guard to a king, and will surround his throne with righteousness. 29. Wisdom is an ornament to young men, and gray hairs are the glory of old men. 30. Bruises and contusions befall bad men, and plagues shall come in the inward parts of their belly.